Pierce, good to see you. How you doing? Evening. Messi, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Hi, Miles CMF. Dennis, good to see you as well. How you doing? Also, thank you to anybody. Thank you to everyone that's been retweeting this live show as well. Right, being in live show. Dennis, thank you so much for retweeting the live show as well. Camel, thank you so much for retweeting the live show as well. Dennis, how you doing? Good to see you as well. I'm here today. Let's go, Neil. How you doing? Good evening, Miles and family. Hope you're having a great weekend. Doing great. How you doing, Ian? How you been? How's your weekend? Come on, good to see you as well, brother. How you doing? Thank you for retweeting the live show as well. Thanks so much to everyone that's been retweeting this live show right now. Hi from Ireland. Patricia, how you doing? Good evening, Good evening, Professor Miles and the rest of the CMF army. Let's go, funky brother. How you doing? Honestly, thank you so much to everyone that's retweeting this live show right at the beginning. Funky brother, thanks so much for retweeting it. Get notifications. Everyone's tuning in one by one. Billo, good to see you as well. How you doing? Bro, Miles, how are you, bro? I'm doing great. How you doing, Billo? Good evening, Miles and CMF. Denise, good to see you as well. How you doing, Denise? How you been? Evening, Miles and CMF. Jason, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been, brother? Tonight we have quite a bit of news to go through as well on tonight's live show. As everyone's joining in, I could go through the gist of what we're going to be talking about, and one by one, everyone will tune in. So, Semper, good to see you as well. How you doing? Evening. Perfect timing, Semper. I'm about to go through the gist of all the things we'll be talking about on tonight's live show. So tonight we're going to be talking about a particular author who has written a column and had conversations with essentially multiple crypto websites, regarding crypto news websites. And she's given her opinions about the crypto space. And we're going to go through what she's talked about and why she thinks that is the case. We're also going to talk about Solana's co-founder who is advocating for meme coins aimed at a crypto debate. There's a crypto debate going on between major high-profile people regarding co-founder of Solana and some other co-founders and CEOs from other blockchain projects, main legitimate blockchain projects, who are battling it out on some are saying meme coins are good for the crypto space and the majority saying they're bad for the crypto space, which will go through their viewpoints regarding all these CEOs. We're also going to be talking about BlackRock today regarding their iBIT and how they've essentially added MoonPay. The chief legal officer, Lindsay Haswell, has now been added to BlackRock's iBIT, which will go through that on that basis as well, and how it could potentially, help essentially MoonPay in the long term. And if you haven't used MoonPay, it's basically a crypto platform which makes it easy for you to essentially do off-ramps and on-ramps regarding fiat to crypto. We're also going to talk about South Africa today. South Africa is one step closer to CBDCs and stablecoins now. We'll go through what stage they're at. We're also going to be talking about Bitcoin mining today and how, interestingly enough, Bitcoin mining is actually more environmentally friendly than traditional banking systems, believe it or not, regarding how much electricity is being used by a bank and how much electricity is being used by a Bitcoin mining institution. We're also going to be talking about Russia and how they're essentially finalizing the drafts on their laws on cryptocurrency mining and their regulations in the general crypto space. We're going to talk about Kenya as well on today's live show regarding Kenya considering cryptocurrency mining to boost energy fundings. We're also going to talk about Paraguay regarding their senator's viewpoint on Bitcoin mining institutions. A lot of countries are coming forward and going towards Bitcoin mining. They're taking a chapter out of El Salvador's book regarding going towards Bitcoin mining to help their own country's economy. We're also going to talk about Custodia Bank. Now, I've talked about Custodia Bank previously when they got rejected from the Fed Masterclass, essentially, where the Fed's Master Report, essentially, which connects Custodia Bank to other banks and the Fed's systems, but it was rejected. And the court said, yep, the Feds don't have to give you any sort of approval for you to be able to use their platforms. And now they've essentially started to go after, as an appeal, to get connected back to the banking systems. And they should do, because Custodia Bank has crypto links and it's not good for the crypto space if that happens to them. We're also going to talk about regarding popular Bitcoin wallet bans. There's actually a Bitcoin wallet ban scenario going on inside the United States right now, where a few privacy wallet essentially providers are not allowing United States citizens to sign up to cryptocurrency wallets anymore, interestingly enough. We're also going to be talking about, on tonight's live show, regarding the key to retrieving Bitcoin bull run in the US Treasury refunding announcements as well. So quite a bit of news to go through on tonight's live show regarding viewpoints from CEOs and viewpoints from authors, viewpoints on regarding Bitcoin mining industries, and viewpoints of many countries joining the race, and some regulations and CBDC news regarding South Africa on how close they are. So, before we go through that, let's go through this, the comment section. And then we do the disclaimer, and then we talk about if you're new, and then we go straight into the news. Even Miles and Crypto Peeps, Central, let's go. How you doing, Kayron? Hi, Miles and CMF, good to see you as well. How you doing? Hello, Miles and CMF. Comatose, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Coin, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Manny, good evening. Good to see you as well. How you doing? BTC dumping. BTC not really dumping. It's on 0.12%. It's not even 1% of dump. It's 0.14%. So it's never 1% downwards. It's 0.14%. It's not really much of a dump. China will soon start mining BTC. Well, they won't be doing. I think if they want to do that, they'll do through Hong Kong. But you never know. China can, change their viewpoints on Bitcoin mining. Hi everyone. Good to see you as well, Carl. How you doing? Morning, Miles. How was your weekend? Hope you had a downtime. Hello, CMF. Shelly, good to see you as well. How you doing? And how was your weekend as well, Shelly? And my weekend was mostly work. Regarding my weekend. Hi, Miles, the CMF family. Is it time to turn on my CMF TV for real news? Let's go, Carl. Good morning, Shelly, is what Ian said. Now, so if you're watching this live show for the first time ever, welcome to the CMF live show, where we talk about how the world is evolving into a digital space. We talk about the blockchain space in general, regarding cryptocurrencies, regarding CBDCs, and politics, essentially, because it plays into everything regarding politics. The disclaimer of this live show, as always, is not financial advice, not political advice, and whatever I say is only for entertainment purposes. So welcome to the CMF live show, everyone. If you are new and if you're regular, let's go CMF. So, Miles, we'll go through the questions and then we go through the news. Miles, when can we expect price action during this bull run? We're not that far off. We're actually in a very, very steady, slow-moving bull run situation. Today, you need 10 XRP to activate your wallet. Do you think they will lower the amount when XRP goes to 30 to 50, 100? Possibility, although keep it on the same path. Good evening, Miles and all in CMF. Adi, good to see you as well. How you doing? But there's a possibility of them lowering it. Why not? So, first news to go through on tonight's live show is this. There is a lot of skeptics still inside the crypto space. There's still a lot of people who presume we're not going to be going towards utility in any sort of a way. There's a lot of people that still believe the crypto space is just one massive bubble and it's going to burst like the .com situation. Now, we're going to go through somebody's viewpoint, and this person has had a CoinDesk interview. So she's had a CoinDesk interview, she's written a book, she's a journalist, a technology journalist, and she recently did an interview with CoinDesk. And essentially, we're going to go through her viewpoint of what she thinks about the crypto space. So Cara Swisher downplays crypto significance. It's not the center of everything, is what she said. She said it's not the center of everything. In an interview with CoinDesk's first mover, technology journalist Cara Swisher, author of the New York Times bestseller Burn Book, said that she's skeptical that cryptocurrencies have transformative potential, calling digital assets important but not world-changing. This is her word for word of what she said. The internet was a major Cambrian explosion. This is a tiny one. I guess a volcano eruption on Indonesia, she said, on the first mover. It's a very important area of technology, but it's not the most important. It's not the center of everything. Swisher argued that the cryptocurrency sector has been caught up in a huge hype cycle, with a considerable amount of scammery involved. Now, this part I agree with regarding the scam part, but it's in every single market sector essentially. The stock market, everybody's heard of the Wall Street situation regarding Jordan Belfort, and he wasn't the only person inside the stock market that major movements on scamming people. But in every single essentially market sector, there is scams and there is legitimateness. So yes and no situation regarding what she said on that part. But crypto people really overplayed their hands in that regards, saying it's going to change everything. She's saying crypto is not going to change everything. She said this is a typical thing of technologies, saying that is going to change the world, the whole world. Swisher believes crypto will ultimately settle into being just another niche within the broader tech landscape, comparing it to many other technological innovations that have came and gone without reshaping the world. It needs to replace something that's better. Digital downloads of books, for instance. She's comparing blockchain technology and tokenizations to Audible. If anybody's ever heard of Audible, which is Amazon's, listen to books, she's comparing blockchain technology and tokenizations to Audible from Amazon. Aren't necessarily better than physical books. She's saying digital downloads of books are not necessarily better than physical books, but they are very good, she said. Crypto overstepped itself, but it will settle into a nice small corner. Yeah. She reminds me of the other gentleman that was against the crypto space as well. I think somebody can remember his name in the comment section. For some reason, his name doesn't come to mind anymore. But there was another person inside the crypto space who keeps on saying Bitcoin. It's Peter, that's it. Peter keeps on saying Bitcoin is going to go to zero. And Peter had a chance of buying Bitcoin around $30 or something. And he never brought it. And Bitcoin is right now sitting around 60 something. And he's still calling Bitcoin to go to zero. But I mean, even Kara Swisher, she's saying, crypto is going to go and ball up into a small corner and nothing's going to happen. Crypto is not going to change anything. She's saying cryptocurrencies have a resemblance to audiobooks from Amazon, is how much technology they're providing actually for the reality of the world. All of that is based on just her opinion with no factual proof. Because if we actually look at cryptocurrencies, we know that BlackRock is inside of it. We know that BlackRock, Larry Fink, is heavily into tokenizations, and that tokenizations is going to be changing how we look at things in everyday society. Tokenizations regarding real estate, regarding the automotive industry, regarding bonds, securities, assets, derivatives. If you don't call that groundbreaking and changing how we know things in today, then I don't think she should personally be calling herself a technology journalist. Because if you understand technology, you would understand that what Larry Fink is saying regarding tokenizing real estate, bonds, securities, assets, derivatives, and it's not just Larry Fink from BlackRock. We've also had the same opinions from Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Vanguard, Fidelity, ARK Invest, and major other establishments around the world. And she doesn't think that all of this isn't going to change the world. And, BlackRock has taken action. These aren't just words. BlackRock saying we like tokenization. No, they've started a fund going towards tokenizations. That is what the difference is here. We've also had the Bank of the World go into tokenizations. We've had Switzerland go into tokenizations. The first ever bonds on tokenizations did payments in Switzerland this year as well, and the previous year. They did bonds tokenization in Switzerland. And I don't think personally she should be calling herself a technology journalist, because she has zero clue of what she's talking about. And crypto is changing the world. It's not a tiny, small thing. And you do not compare blockchain technology and tokenization to an audiobook to Amazon regarding how much it's going to change the world. Bonds, securities, assets, real estate, automotive, everything will be changed as we know it because of blockchain technology. So I personally think she's very misunderstood. She should go back to the drawing board and really understand what she's talking about. But she does go on to say this. So if crypto is fizzing out and is yet to fulfill the grand vision of its most ardent supporters, where is the hype going? She's saying the hype is moving away from crypto. It really isn't, because day by day we're getting new BTC ETFs coming to market space. I mean, Hong Kong just is going to be opening its doors to BTC ETFs and Ethereum ETFs on the 30th. We also have a lot more countries entering the crypto space, but we also have Bitcoin news to go through regarding how much expansion is coming regarding Bitcoin mining institutions in Paraguay and even South Korea. We'll go through that as well. But artificial intelligence is where she's saying it's going. She's saying all of the hype all of the hype from the crypto space is going to be going to artificial intelligence, according to her opinion. She said AI isn't profitable yet. AI isn't profitable yet because these ventures are very costly, requiring substantial investments in computing power and development, which is a fair point. And AI is great technology as well. But there is a bad side to AI, but just as everything else, there's a good side and a bad side. Only the big companies can afford to lose this money and afford to pay for this, she said. She also said, but AI captured the interest of the public and major tech companies in a way that's taken some of the momentum away from blockchain and crypto. Not without its own hype and exaggerated claims, similar to those seen in crypto space. She's calling the crypto space exaggerated, and she's calling blockchain technology hype. She also went on to say AI is a big deal in comparison, she said. It's just that everyone has to slap AI onto their company name and then they're an AI company. She's also saying there's also a lot of people pretending to be AI companies. Look, I get it. AI, amazing technology. I personally use AI in my own business. It makes life so much more simpler. It writes me emails. It could also do my taxes if I wanted to do regarding AI technology. It writes me emails. It fixes my business plans. It writes me sales pitches. It does so many things. It writes my business deck, for example. It does so many things for me regarding AI technology, and it is absolutely amazing regarding AI technology. No doubt about it. However, we can't just say AI is excellent and blockchain technology is pathetic, is what essentially she's saying. She's saying she's saying all the hype is behind cryptocurrencies when the real gem is AI, which is incorrect. I believe they both have their use cases going towards a digital future for the rest of the world. They both have their use cases. AI has its own use case inside of a digital world, and blockchain technology will have its own use case as well. Now, I do also believe that technically you don't need to have, essentially a blockchain AI project for it to be successful. I've said this previously as well. The major AI companies out there technically aren't blockchain companies. That is very fairly true. The main AI companies out there that have all the pharmaceutical contracts, the major contracts, the $1 billion, $1 million contracts going on, they're technically not blockchain companies, and they're just normal AI companies essentially. Because you don't really need blockchain for AI technology. You can use it alongside it, but you don't really need it in the long event term, let's say. But what she said about cryptocurrency is absolutely moronic. Regarding it's just a small hype, it's going nowhere, it's absolutely pathetic, and comparing blockchain technology to essentially audibles from Amazon is an embarrassment, is what she said. And she's a journalist. She's a technology journalist, which makes it even worse on her side. So I do believe she has to go back to the drawing board. And do you know what's bad about this? A lot of people would read that. People who are thinking about entering the crypto space, for example. There's still a lot of people who haven't entered the crypto space. And the people who haven't entered the crypto space, they're more likely to read an article like this and stay away from the crypto space, which is bad because they're listening to morons who don't understand what blockchain technology is. I would personally love to do a interview with CoinDesk and explain to them what the real use case of blockchain technology is and how it's actually in motion in some parts of essentially institutions and especially around the world. And what she said is completely false. If CoinDesk is ever watching this live show and they want me to do an interview, I'm all up for it. Now, let's get to the comment section before we go to the next news. Good evening, Miles and all CMF. Adi, let's go. How you doing? Orphan, good to see you as well. How you doing? Good evening, Miles and all CMF. When she talks that way, that makes me even more bullish. Let's go, Messi. What up, Miles and family? Hope all is well. Ray, good to see you as well, brother. How you doing? Hello, Miles and CMF. Lena, good to see you as well. How you doing? Peter is bitter, but not buying BTC. Not for buying BTC, yeah. That's true. I don't think that lady even believes herself. I believe she's targeting innocent, gullible. Yeah, I agree with Vibe. Absolutely. Larry Frink doesn't lie to us like others do. Hello again, beautiful people. Let's go, Toms. How you doing? Why are people saying XRP and BTC going to zero? Why are people saying XRP and BTC are going to zero? Well, everybody's entitled to an opinion, but that doesn't make it correct. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. Me, you, anybody else around the world, but opinions are not correct, and you should always stick to the facts. I personally believe, based on my own research, based on documentations that I've seen, based on Larry Fink, based on so many other CEOs and corporations out there, that Bitcoin is not going to be going to zero. XRP is not going to be going to zero either, based on documentations that I've read. But again, everybody's entitled to an opinion, but opinions are not correct in any sort of a way, and facts are facts, and I'm basing mine on PDF documentation answers. Hi everyone, XRP Den, good to see you. How you doing? Good evening, Miles and CMF. Hope you all had a great weekend. David, good to see you. How you doing? Also, another reason why a lot of people are claiming BTC is going to go to zero is because of the USDT situation, where USDT, essentially, I did it spaces. I did it X spaces, and I said that USDT's days are numbered, is what I said. So I did an X spaces, and I said USDT, and I did it a few nights ago. I said USDT's days are numbered, because USDT Tether is not an American institution, and the US doesn't like the idea of a private entity having control of so much of a stable coin inside of a crypto space, especially when it's a US dollar stable coin. And I said the United States government does not like the idea of a private entity controlling the stable coin space inside of crypto space, especially with the title US dollars. And I said, based on that, USDT's days are numbered, essentially. And it's also because, when I said this, that, for example, the analogy that I gave on that X spaces that I did was Binance. I said the whole world was working with Binance, and Binance was the number one exchange, and it still is, up to a certain extent, still number one exchange. And I said this to everybody, that, the example that I gave, Binance, number one exchange, everybody was working with Binance, America silent on the sidelines. And then one day, America decided they wanted a piece of the pie, or all of the pie. They fined Binance $4 billion. They went after Binance, fined it for $4 billion, kicked out CZ, replaced it, their CEOs for both Binance US and normal Binance with World Economic Forum members. And they got more government entities inside of Binance to control every aspect of it. So America wants control of the market space. So I said, it seems to be that Tether's days are also numbered as well, because America doesn't like the idea of somebody else being in control, especially of such a large market space. Remember, America's always been the dominant one inside the financial markets. And even going towards a digital world, they're still going to be remaining the dominant one. They're not going to be letting go of that power in any sort of a way. No country wants less power. Every country wants more power, more greed, and more money. That's just how the world works. So the ideology of America's losing power or they're weak, it really isn't true. They're actually gaining more power and going even inside of a digital world. And I explained this with, the US dollars essentially is the number one dominated currency inside the fiat. Inside of fiat, traditional finance, the US dollars is the number one currency. I said also in a digital concept, the number one stable coin is the US dollars. It's not the Chinese yen or the Russian ruble inside the cryptocurrency market, it's the US dollars. In the traditional finance, the dollars is the dominant currency. And even in the digital essentially aspects, the dollars is the number one currency in terms of stable coins. So they're carrying out both markets and still being a dominant one. However, inside of the digital world, the US is not in control of the US dollars. A company by the name of Tether is, which is alarming because one, Tether doesn't show what it's backing its assets with, and two, it's a private entity that has some sort of ties with Justin Sun and some other members that the US is also not fond of. That's what I said essentially regarding Tether's days are numbered. Same situation that happened with Binance will happen to Tether. And America has a lot of control, as I said previously as well. The moment the US went after Binance, all of those countries that were working with Binance, one by one, dropped Binance. CZ was sitting at such a power seat that the EU said to CZ, take off all the privacy coins, remove all the privacy coins from Binance. Every single exchange at that time said, sure, we'll remove the privacy coins, no problem. CZ said, I'll think about it. And that's the seat that CZ had inside the crypto space. He was that powerful to say to the EU markets, I'll think about removing the privacy coins. And then what happens? Binance, essentially the US comes along, goes after Binance. One by one, every country is dropping Binance at that time. The EU shut Binance out. Their bank cards, their Binance bank cards no longer worked. The UK shut them out, and many other countries shut them out. Until this day, even Philippines is trying to argue with Google Play and Apple Store to remove the Binance app. And as Philippines is not the only country, a lot of countries are doing this. It just shows you how much power America has. All they do is just point the finger and go after them, and everybody drops them one by one because nobody wants the hassle of going up against the United States at all, because it's a massive powerhouse. So if you ever thought, the United States is weak in some sort of a way, in reality it isn't. It's actually stronger than it's ever been. Might not seem like that to you because you're looking at Sleepy Joe, but don't look at Sleepy Joe. Look at the corporations behind Sleepy Joe, the ones that are funding Sleepy Joe. So that's what I said regarding USDT's days are numbered, because the US isn't in control of the stablecoin inside the crypto space. The US got control of the number one crypto exchange. Essentially, the US got control of the number one crypto exchange, Binance, straight away. $4 billion fine. The CEO pleaded guilty. And the CEO is not allowed to leave the United States. And they replaced them with World Economic Forum members, and they essentially got government entities inside of Binance as well, US government entities inside of Binance. So the next logical step for them would be to take over Tether as well, or to replace Tether. So that's why I said regarding Tether's days are numbered. And that's probably why some people are saying, BTC or XRP is going to go to zero. In reality, it isn't. Just because and I don't believe Tether is going to go to zero either. I believe Tether is going to get pushed out rather than going to zero. I don't think they're going to be making Tether go to zero or dropping Tether in any sort of a way. I think they're going to be pushing out Tether and replacing it with another stablecoin. So in reality, none of those projects will go to zero. Even if they are pairs with them, they still wouldn't go to zero. Obviously, the market impact regarding the news would hurt the market and so on, the market sentiments, but it wouldn't go to zero in any sort of a way. Now, going into why are people saying the golden is flat? The golden is flat. Messi, elaborate on that one. Brother, any good news on XRP? Thank you. We do have quite a lot of news to go on regarding market movements, not on XRP. Can I ask your head? Can I ask your head and give it a... Okay, that's just... Evening, Pure, good to see you. How you doing? CoinDesk is a BTC maxi. CoinDesk is a BTC maxi. We just wasted 15 minutes of our precious time talking about some clueless old bag. BlackRock won't let BTC hit zero. Yeah, BlackRock will never hit it. And what happens if XRP price drops? I mean the future when it's high price and being used. No, it still won't, go to zero in any sort of a way. A few early mornings ago, you mean, Lol? When Tether crashes, it will shake out. When Tether crashes, it will shake the whole crypto markets. We will all feel it. Yes, it will definitely shake the crypto markets, but making it go to zero, no. It will never make Bitcoin go to zero, never make XRP, any sort of assets go to zero, but it will definitely shake the markets without a doubt. It's the number one stablecoin being used. Hi everyone, Troy, good to see you. How you doing? Money will flow into BTC, XRP, and Tether Cash is what Messi's saying. Sorry, Miles, I missed that one. Shelly, which part did you miss? A few early mornings ago. So you mean, yeah, definitely. It was an early morning situation. For me, 4 a.m. Now, go through the next news on tonight's live show is this one. Solana. Solana co-founder advocates for meme coins aimed crypto debate. Raj, the co-founder of Solana, recently reiterated his support for meme coins within the cryptocurrency industry. He emphasized that despite criticism, these tokens are significant in the evolving landscape of digital currencies, contrasting with some views. Raj celebrates meme coins for their role in introducing creativity and youth engagements inside the blockchain space. Moreover, Raj also referenced Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin, suggesting a notable rivalry in critique those who within the crypto community who might dismiss younger developers' playful approach to blockchain technology, stating that such an attitude could hinder their progress in this dynamic field. This is what he said, word for word. This is what the co-founder of Solana said regarding meme coins. Meme coins are scaring away serious builders. May I remind you about the serious builders who set all this work in motion. If you are fragile enough to get spooked by how young people choose to use permissionless systems to have fun, you will quite simply not make it here. Industry leaders weigh in the debate over meme coins has caught the attention of various key figures in the cryptocurrency world. Eddie Larson, the CTO of A16Z Crypto, has expressed a less enthusiastic view on meme coins. He believes they present the sector as a more speculative and could negatively influence public perception and regulatory approaches. However, Larson acknowledges that meme coins have sparked a broader dialogue about the nature and potential of cryptocurrencies. Additionally, Lily Liu, president of Solana Foundation, has publicly supported Rogers' stance regarding meme coins are good for the crypto space. She highlighted that many meme coin developers possess substantial competence, further the argument that these coins are more than mere novelties. The discourse surrounding meme coins underscores the diverse perspectives on the future of cryptocurrencies and their impact on both technological innovation and the market behaviors. As the discussion unfolds, it becomes clear that meme coins will continue to print essentially money and interest within the crypto communities. What a moronic thing to say. Look, I'll be honest, a lot of people will probably read this and go, Solana's co-founder is supporting meme coins. This is absolutely amazing. He's one of us. He supports. By the way, I don't support meme coins. But as in people will read this and say, oh, Solana's co-founder supports meme coins. This is amazing. He's, with the people and so on and so on and so on. No. Solana's meme coin is using a business tactic, which a lot of people from the retail section won't even see it coming. You see, meme coins are a good way to create adoption on chains. Obviously, Solana is doing great as a chain because of what? Is Solana doing great as a chain because it's a great chain? Is it because Solana has never crashed? Is it because Solana is fast? Is it because Solana is cheap? Is it because Solana is a secure network? Is it because Solana is being used by major establishments as we speak? No. Solana has the adoption rate that it has is because of meme coins. Honest to truth. These are actual facts. If you look at the stats on Solana, there are more meme coins being produced on Solana than pretty much any other asset out there right now as we speak. A long time ago, it was Ethereum. Ethereum was the number one chain for meme coins. Solana is outbeating everybody on meme coins. And it's creating adoption from the retail section, which is good for Solana because it has a lot of money coming in. So with the co-founder of Solana standing up and going, I support meme coins, he's actually saying, I can't believe people are investing into meme coins and it's making us more money, essentially, is what he's doing. So it's a business tactic. Don't fall for this moron's tricks regarding the co-founder of Solana, okay? Meme coins are a terrible idea. It's a way to empty the pockets of the retail section. Regarding meme coins, I hope if you are holding meme coins, you make a lot of money for yourself. I hope anybody that's holding meme coins, whatever it might be, you make a lot of money for yourself, okay, in general. Any cryptocurrencies. I hope everybody makes a lot of money. However, with meme coins, there is the bad side where everybody looks at that one person that makes it on a meme coin and he makes $1,000 into $1,000,000 and everybody talks about it. Nobody talks about the other 99% that didn't make it. Everybody talks about the 10 people that did make it. And that's the reality of about 99% of the crypto space regarding meme coins. So don't listen to this moron regarding the co-founder of Solana supporting meme coins. He's only trying to up the retail section adoption of Solana because Solana has major issues and the only way they're going to get money into them is by people creating meme coins. The reality of it is the chain of Solana has crashed 11 times, okay? 11 times Solana's chain has crashed. It can't handle shit. Never mind any other, meme coins. It has so much congestion. It crashes all the time. It goes through major issues of ups and downs. And then you have the Solana meme coin, the Solana co-founder supporting meme coins to empty the pockets of the retail section. What a pathetic man to come out and say this. It's a business tactic. Don't fall for these tricks. So, before we go to the next news, let's go to the comment section. Money will flow into BTC into the crash. Sorry, Miles, I missed that one. That might be a big crash everyone's talking about. Maybe. Hello, Miles and CMF. Peg, good to see you. How you doing? Sorry, the one you blocked, I missed it. The one I blocked, you missed it. No problem. Yeah, that came on a random one. Good evening, Miles and all CMF. How's everyone doing today? Iman, I'm doing great. How you doing? Yo, how you doing, Crypto Shark? How you been? Hi, Miles and CMF. Solomon, good to see you. How you doing? Vibe, let's go. Won't Tether just spread the assets if they feel they are going to be taken down, Miles? Yes, there's a possibility of Tether just spreading the assets so then nothing happens to them. That's true. Regarding Tether, they can spread their assets, so then it doesn't impact them that much. But it'll definitely impact the market if the US tries to sanction even Tether. Why are people like Raoul Paul bullish on Sol then? Why are people like Raoul Paul bullish on Sol is because there's a lot of institutions holding on to Sol. One of them being Grayscale. Grayscale is holding on to Solana. Solana can become a great chain, but it has major difficulties. I feel like Solana was one of those projects that was rushed too quickly by FTX. In the earlier days, Solana got the majority of their investments from FTX, which obviously we know where FTX got their money from. It wasn't themselves, it was other people's money. But in the early days, Solana basically got the majority of their money, their startup and Kickstarters and so on from, a lot of VCs and then obviously FTX was involved and so on. So I feel like Solana was rushed because they were never ready to be at the scale they are right now. 11 crashes is not great in any aspects. If Solana only crashed 1 to 2 times, okay, no problem. We could just let it go. But 11 times, way too many. And it still crashes. Actually, it's 12 times now, technically. There was a recent one as well. So 12 times it's crashed again. So I feel like it's been rushed. I feel like the Solana chain was rushed for pushing it out the door, and a lot of companies do that. Inside the technology world, inside the corporate world, essentially, a lot of companies, especially if you're backed by VCs, if your company is a blockchain company and you're backed by VCs, they push you to do an earlier release. Even if you're not ready, they will push you to do an earlier release, and that could end bad sometimes in general. And Solana, for me, feels like one of those companies that was backed by VCs and they pushed it to launch earlier, hence why it's got 11 to 12 crashes under its belt. I mean, the last one was a major one, 5 hours on crash time, which is ridiculous. So, again, it's not a bad chain. It's just, I feel like it was pushed too quickly. So it's not a bad chain. I feel like it was just pushed too quickly. They fixed the major issues, they're good to go. But they definitely need to fix their major issues. And the reason why Raoul Paul is pushing it is because of Grayscale. Grayscale is holding in their portfolios as well. Solana preying on young investors may not have a spare money by creating dog with hat tokens. That's true. It's exactly what they're doing. They're preying on the younger investors. Hello, Miles, Investor Digital. How you doing? I notice that every time you really get wound up talking about meme coins. They've tried to fix it though, and it hasn't worked. So will it work? Will it be fixed eventually? Do you think, or do you see it fading out? I think eventually they will get to a stage where it will be fixed. I think they will get to a stage where it will be fixed, but I don't think it's anytime soon because Solana's had years to fix their issues, and they still haven't. And I think once Solana starts moving away from meme coins is when Solana becomes a bit more legitimate. Because if we have major institutions using Solana, then they can't have crashes, okay? For example, if BlackRock announces tomorrow we're going to go with Solana, then Solana cannot crash. If Solana crashes even once, BlackRock will drop them the next day. So I feel like once the meme coin, scenario fades out of Solana, and then Solana becomes a much more mature asset, I think they'll look after the network a lot more. And then when you get companies like BlackRock, making an announcement, for example, we're going to be building on Solana or whatever, Solana can't have any crashes. Because if a big player like that joins and you embarrass yourself, that's pretty much it for you. And if BlackRock drops them, no other institution will work with them. So at one point, I do believe they will be fixing themselves up. If they don't, it's going to get very difficult for them in the long run. I'm telling you that from essentially a corporate perspective. They've tried to, Very true they have, but I hope they do. Now, regarding BlackRock. BlackRock iBIT adds MoonPay Chief Legal Officer Lindsay Haswell to their future, essentially to their fund's board. BlackRock's iShares iBIT, currently the most traded spot Bitcoin ETF by volume, is shaking up its board directors, appointing Lindsay Haswell, Chief Legal and Administration Officer at Web3 payment infrastructure company MoonPay. She will be replacing financier Kim Lee, who will step down as of November 6, 2024. Prior to MoonPay, Haswell worked in some of the roles at blockchain.com. Haswell was also the founding member of the Core blockchain, essentially, and is the Core DAO contributor. Core is a layer 1 blockchain that provides essentially Ethereum virtual machines, compatible smart contracts, secured in part by Bitcoin's proof of work consensus mechanism. BlackRock's iBIT is currently the second largest Bitcoin ETF by assets under management and essentially the largest, excluding essentially Grayscale's GBTC. iBIT is also the most traded spot Bitcoin ETF, with its volume frequently essentially eclipsing the sum of all other funds in recent weeks. Now, BlackRock did have a 71-day streak on people buying essentially BTC from them regarding their BTC ETFs. BlackRock did have a 71-day streak that did essentially come to an end for 1 or 2 days, and it's going to be picking up again. Oddly enough. Miles, are you still holding on your Solana? Yes. But I didn't buy anymore at all. It's way overpriced for what it is right now. Regarding Solana. I do still hold it, but I haven't bought any more because it's too overpriced for what it is right now. South Africa is the next news we're going to be talking about. South Africa's digital payments roadmap includes CBDCs and stablecoins. Now, a few nights ago on this live show, we were talking about essentially how a lot of countries come out regarding their CBDC plans and say, we're doing testings, our testings were successful, but we don't know if we're going to launch CBDCs, but we're still going to be doing more testings and maybe going on the roadmap. And I said, well, what's the point if all of these countries are keep on saying, we've done the testings, the CBDC testings were great, we might be moving forward, or we're going to be moving forward, but we don't think we're going to implement it. And I said, they're all lying to you. They're just trying to, calm everybody, ease everybody into CBDCs, essentially what they're doing. Now, the reason why I mention this is because South Africa was one of the countries that decided to go down the same route of other countries announcing CBDCs. South Africa also talked about how they've done their testings on CBDCs, they were successful, and they said, we might, and at the end they said, no, we're not going to implement CBDCs, but we're still going to, draw up a roadmap, but we're not going to do CBDCs. So what is the point of doing a roadmap if you're not going to do CBDCs and the testings were successful? Essentially, they're all lying to you. Because, fast forward to today, South Africa's digital payments roadmap includes CBDCs and stablecoins. Their digital roadmap now includes it. The South African Reserve Bank, SARB, has published its digital payments roadmap with stablecoins, a retail central bank digital currency, CBDC, and tokenizations among its priorities. Among its priorities is CBDCs. The roadmap is designed to realize the goals of the SARB's National Payment System Framework and Strategy, Vision 2025. This includes financial inclusion, delivering cost-effective payments interpolally, and promoting innovation and competition. South Africa has a high financial inclusion rate, with 82% of the adult population having access to a bank account. However, over 70% of them use the account once a month, with high fees, cash use preference, and a lack of money among the contributing factors. This makes promoting digital payments a crucial agenda for the top bank. One solution it's exploring in its digital rand: in May 2021, it embarked on the feasibility of a study for the retail CBDC, exploring how it would affect payments, monetary policy, and other aspects of the financial services sector. In its roadmap, the SARB pledged to continue its exploration for the next 2 years, testing the feasibilities of essentially of money/cash through the issuance of retail CBDCs and the use case for wholesale CBDCs. Digital assets are also crucial to the SRB's goals. South Africa has been one of the most continent's top digital currency hubs alongside Nigeria and Kenya. with CentBee's innovative onboarding leading the way and offering direct digital currency payments for utilities, groceries, taxi hailing services, and more regarding CBDCs. The central bank noted that whole digital assets are not legal tender. It has not banned them for payment purposes yet. Additionally, the bank is open to allowing stablecoins into its regulatory sandbox. The sandbox approach would provide the SARB with an appropriate or an opportunity to understand and assess payments use cases in the short term, as well as their potential when enhancing the adoption, essentially, and use of digital payments, which processes may assist in developing a regulatory, supervisory, and oversight framework for crypto-based payments, it stated. The SARB is working on a regulatory approach to digital assets guided by the Financial Stability Board, FSB. Now, the Financial Stability Board, FSB, is also helping a lot of other countries shift over into CBDCs alongside the Bank of International Settlements, the BIS, and the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. However, the country's Financial Sector Conduct Authority, FSCA, has taken the lead on digital asset regulations. Recently, the FSCA issued its first batch of VASP, essentially virtual assets regarding licensing to exchange such as Velar and Luno Exchange. So, whatever happens, as we know, that essentially South Africa was inside the G20 summit that happened as well. In every single G20 country, essentially is under the same declaration. So if South Africa is getting closer and closer regarding their footsteps on CBDCs and stablecoins, it's always good to find out exactly what stage they're at and what they're going to be implementing, because whatever they implement is a much more higher likelihood of other countries implementing on the same path. So they've taken the path of essentially the help from the Financial Stability Board, and obviously the Bank of International Settlements had a hand in this as well, because they were helping South Africa about essentially a year ago. So last year, the Bank of International Settlements was helping South Africa alongside other BRICS nations as well, especially on Project MBridge and some other projects that the Bank of International Settlements is doing. It's about 11 projects the Bank of International Settlements has created. One of them being MBridge, was the number one everybody knows about, because it's the only one that essentially was payments done on. Now, so in other words, just to put in perspective, every country that keeps on coming out, as I said a few nights ago on this live show, every country that keeps on coming out and saying, we've done the CBDC testings, they were all successful, but we don't think we're going to implement CBDCs. But however, we're still going to, spend more money on building a roadmap, but we're not going to do CBDCs. And I said, well, they're all lying to you. They're just trying to ease people in. And South Africa was one of these countries that said, we did the testings, all successful, but we're not going to do CBDCs. And we're just going to be doing a roadmap, spending more money just doing a roadmap for no apparent reason. And then, as I said, fast forward to today, we have South Africa coming out and saying priorities CBDCs. They're all lying to people. They just want everybody to be eased into CBDCs, because there's no logic behind you do a CBDC test for your entire country. It's a successful test. And then your next step is, oh, we don't want to do it, but we want to spend more money building a roadmap. If you don't want to do it, why spend money to do a roadmap? There's no logic behind it in any sort of a way. It's because they're lying to you. And, example number one, South Africa lying to pretty much everybody regarding, oh, we're not going to do CBDCs, but the testings was very successful, and then we're just going to spend more money on building a roadmap for no apparent reason. They just want to ease everyone into it, so is what they're doing. So, before we go on to the next news, let's go through the comment sections. By the way, if you're watching this live show for the first time ever, welcome to the CMF live show. We talk about how the world is changing. We talk about recent news that's happening around the world regarding blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, politics, because it all plays in together. If you're watching us for the first time ever, welcome to the CMF live show. I do this live show every single night. This is episode 41. We are live on YouTube and X at the exact same time right now. If you have a question, put it down inside the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. So, go inside the comment section now. Why would XRP then elaborate on that? I'm here for your wisdom, Miles. Thank you. Let's go, new dog. Do you think Solana will do well in the bull run? Do I believe Solana will do well in the bull run? I do believe that the hype behind Solana regarding meme coins is still there, without a doubt. The hype regarding meme coins is still there. So based on that, yes. I will sell Solana once the first bull run is over. Same here. Miles is, hi, how you doing? Miles, is Trust Wallet safe now? Was it fake news about iMessage? It wasn't fake news about iMessage. If you do have essentially a iPhone, which a lot of people do, for example, I have an iPhone as well. If you do have an iPhone, you could be at risk regarding your Trust Wallet. So if you do have a hot wallet like Trust Wallet on your iPhone, you could be at risk, even without clicking on links. You see, Apple has a bug issue regarding iMessage, and you need to turn off your iMessage. I revealed this to everybody when the news first came out, essentially, that you need to turn off iMessage on your iPhone because it's a bug in the Apple system, essentially, and Apple still hasn't came out with a patch to fix this issue. But through iMessage, the hackers can essentially, your device is vulnerable to hacks and manipulation, essentially regarding your Trust wallets, and they can become compromised, and your Trust wallet can become, highly compromised and emptied out, pretty much. So if you do have an iPhone, go to your settings on your iPhone and turn off iMessage. Otherwise, your Trust wallet is at risk, or any other sort of hot wallets you may have are at risk in that scenario. So, yes, definitely turn off iMessage. Hi, how you doing? Look around. Why Ton network always suspended? Why Ton network is always suspended? It's an interesting question. It's only on some exchanges Ton network is essentially suspended. It's not on all types of exchanges regarding Ton network. But it's also because Ton network wants to focus on Ton network, essentially, quite a lot. They're doing quite a lot of maintenance because Ton is doing a lot of maintenance mainly because of that Telegram partnership. They have that major Telegram partnership. And they're coming out with a lot of things regarding Ton network. So they're always doing maintenance on the network to ensure that it's working perfectly fine. So that could be the reason why Ton network has always been suspended. In terms of whenever you go to use it, it's always suspended. That could be the reason. It's because of all the maintenance work they're doing. But in general, Ton network, great. In my perspective, great, definitely. And obviously they have one of the biggest partners out there inside the social media world, Telegram, which has close to roughly a billion users, which is massive. Now, talking about this one, this news is quite interesting. Okay, this particular news is quite interesting. Bitcoin mining uses less energy than traditional banks, study finds. Now, a lot of countries would argue that Bitcoin mining institutions essentially are, very unenvironmentally friendly. They're damaging the world. The waters are rising, the sea levels are rising, the world's heating up, and so on. When it comes to Bitcoin mining institutions, a lot of people will make that argument that it's not good for the planet regarding Bitcoin mining institutions. However, a recent study has found that a Bitcoin mining institution actually and technically uses less electricity than a traditional bank. A recent study conducted by Payless Power, a retail energy provider in Texas, reveals that global Bitcoin mining consumers significantly less energy compared to the traditional banking systems. The findings came at a time when the environmental impact of cryptocurrencies, particularly Bitcoin, is the topic of instance of debate and scrutiny, according to a lot of people outside and inside the crypto space, especially from the banking sector or Elizabeth Warren. Senator Elizabeth Warren has made, the argument many times that Bitcoin is bad for the environment. But according to Payless Power, a retail energy provider, Bitcoin mining institutions technically use a lot more less power than traditional banks. According to the research, the Bitcoin network consumes approximately 167 terawatt hours (TWh) of energy annually. In contrast, the global banking system uses over 258 terawatts, making Bitcoin's energy consumption about 35% less than that of traditional banks. This comparison takes into account the energy used by the bank's data centers, physical branches, ATMs, and card networks such as Visa. These study calculations were based on various data sets, including the Bitcoin Energy Consumption Index and the total value of assets held by the top 100 banks globally. The majority of the banking sector's energy consumption is attributed to data centers, which require significant energy for servers, computers, and cooling systems, similar to the infrastructure used in Bitcoin mining. Payless Power CEO Brandon Young commented on the findings, highlighting a common misconception about Bitcoin's energy usage. He pointed out that, on the contrary to popular belief, Bitcoin should be more energy efficient on the global scale. Young suggested that adapting Bitcoin might lead to more environmental, essentially financial sectors integrating digital currencies with renewable energy sources to foster a sustainable economy. These insights challenge the prevailing narrative around Bitcoin's environmental impact, suggesting that cryptocurrencies might offer a viable alternative to traditional financial systems, which are also energy intensive but less often scrutinized to the same extent. This study could potentially shift public regulatory perspectives on the sustainability of Bitcoin as compared to conventional banking practices. Well, who saw that one coming? Elizabeth Warren has always talked about it, regarding, Bitcoin being, not environmentally friendly. We've even had, the Green Zone Party, or whatever, essentially they're called, the Green Party. They keep on coming out and saying, Bitcoin is bad for the environment, Bitcoin is damaging the environment. However, if we, base it on a global scale, Bitcoin mining institutions are actually more friendly, more environmentally friendly than a banking system. Because it is correct, a bank has, well, the bank branches, it also has the bank headquarters, it also has data centers which have computers, more electricity, more cooling fans, more data centers. If you add all of that up and add up all the Bitcoin mining institutions, technically, yes, Bitcoin is actually, even if we go on a global scale, it will still use a lot more less electricity than a bank does, the traditional banking system. So there's one for Elizabeth Warren. Next time she talks about how it's bad for the environment, no, it isn't. That's according to a study test from Payless Power, a retail energy provider in Texas. What do you think about USA wants to remove TikTok now? Is a political move with the election coming up? What do I think about the USA wants to remove TikTok now is a political move with election coming up? Okay, regarding the TikTok being removed, it's relatable in my point of view. TikTok being removed, it's relatable to Section 702. Everything right now is related inside of the tech world. Okay, inside of the tech world, everything is relatable to Section 702 inside the United States. The United States does not have control of the data, essentially, of TikTok in any sort of way. They don't have control of TikTok, the company. So under Section 702, they would preferably like to have control over TikTok. Now, there's other aspects into it as well of how TikTok is being used regarding, the US wants censorship, because essentially that is what they want as well. They do want censorship, essentially, on what people can see, what people can read, and going into a digital world. That's what it's all about. The closer we get to a digital world, the more control they would want, essentially, on what you can see, what you can hear, what you can do, and so on and so on. So yes, there is multiple other scenarios around it regarding censorships. They want full censorship. But it's also relatable to Section 702, where they don't have control of the company and they can't turn into a spyware. On the back of their minds, as even if TikTok keeps on screaming out to the world, even if the CEO of TikTok keeps on screaming out to the world, we are a Singaporean company, we are a Singaporean company, we are a Singaporean company. At the end of the day, we are from the retail section, and they could be having essentially data centers back and forward with China. For example, there has been a company that was caught out in Texas. There was a company in Texas. So there was a company that set itself up next to Microsoft. Just to put in perspective, there was a company inside the United States that registered itself next to Microsoft. Okay, that company was stealing data from Microsoft that was next to them, essentially, and sending it back to China. That's the scale of level of when it comes to data stealing it goes, essentially, where China had set up a company Well, they got a few members, a few people out to the United States. They brought and essentially established themselves as a company next to a Microsoft data center, and they were stealing Microsoft data and sending it back to China. So as much as they want to scream and shout and so on, we're not a TikTok company. I mean, we're not a Chinese company. We're not a Chinese company. We're not Chinese. They could be and they could not be. But at the end of the day, there's many other reasons why behind it as well. Regarding, the US wants full censorship. That is correct. The US does want full censorship. But also, they could be sending data back as well. We don't know onto a full scale. Nobody knows. Nobody's seen the data centers. So they could be sending it back as well. But it's also related to, this censorship. It's relatable to the data situation. And it's relatable to Section 702. That's why. So regarding the TikTok situation, that's what it's relatable to. Nobody's seeing anything from them. It's just one person saying we're not a Chinese company, we're a Singaporean company, and the other one saying, no, we don't believe you. But it is also down to censorship as well. We even had an American politician. An American politician came out once the previous time. So this is the second. Obviously, this is the second time they're trying to ban TikTok fully inside the United States. The first time they tried to ban TikTok in the United States, somebody came out from the American politicians and said, "This is the United States, not China. We do not go around and create censorship." And I can't remember who this particular politician was, but he did stand up in Congress. And essentially, his viewpoint was this is not China, this is the United States. We do not censor people's speeches and so on and so on, which is a fair point. And but I did also say a very, very long time ago in 2023 that every country is headed towards China essentially regarding censorship, regarding censorships, regarding CBDCs, regarding social credit systems, and so on and so on and so on. I said all of these things when China was the first country with CBDC, social credit systems, censorships, and so on and so on. I said every single country is going to be in the footsteps of going towards China. And then one by one, we had countries coming out with CBDCs, and now we're at 88. Now we're at 98% of the amount of countries in CBDCs, according to the world, according to the Bank of International Settlements and the International Monetary Fund and the World Economic Forum. We're at 98% regarding CBDCs of test phasing, implementations, research, or whatever stage they're at. On how many countries are inside CBDCs now is 98%. When I mentioned that China was the only one. And China was the only one with censorship and CBDs and so on and so on. So, and then, obviously day by day, we're getting into censorship. A lot of countries are going into censorship. The United States is not the only one. The United States is very loud. The UK is very quiet, for example, okay? The United States is very loud. They will come out and say, we're banning China, we're banning TikTok. TikTok has to sell their company and so on. They're very loud. The UK, very silent. If you say something you're not supposed to online, the next day you would have, essentially people from the police and so on outside your door telling you why did you send this tweet or telling you why did you put this post against anything that you're not supposed to be talking about. Essentially, the UK moves a lot more silent on censorship. The US is a bit more loud. They're saying, we don't like you, we're trying to come after you, we want your company, so on and so on and so on. The UK and some other countries, they move a bit more silent regarding censorships. Just to put in perspective, there was a study test that was done in 2022. So in 2022, there was a study test done regarding censorship, and Russia had about 200 people censored. Okay, so it was about 200 people censored in Russia regarding what people said online. And a lot of people would think, if I said to somebody, which country do you think has freedom of rights? Some people will say, some people will say, the United Kingdom has more rights than Russia, obviously. But if you look at the data, about 200 people got arrested in Russia for saying something wrong online. In that same year, in the United Kingdom, 1,300 people got arrested for saying something they're not supposed to online. It's actually going against the government. So you can see really the freedom of speech and censorship is a bit more silent inside the United Kingdom. Personally, I don't say anything bad about the United Kingdom at all. But it's a bit more silent on the censorship scenario. Let's go back to the comment section. Hi all, CMF, late tonight. Hope all is well with everyone. Hope to chat up at the end. Let's go, JP. How you doing, brother? Banks go. Any thoughts on HUI? No thoughts on it, but I'll take direct message me. I'll take a look into see what the recent developments are. Congratulations, Miles. As X, as an American company, so under Section 702, you will now be watched. I don't. It is under Section 702. That is correct, but I think Elon Musk might be trying to stop that from happening. Hi, Miles and family. Finally found you. Let's go, Mav. How you doing? How you been, Mav? Miles, I think we should go back to TikTok whilst it's still alive. So I think we should still go back to TikTok while it's still alive. No, definitely not. Definitely not. Because if we talk about CBDCs on TikTok, we'll be banned within 5 seconds. Hi, Miles. Don't forget, if I get banned on TikTok talking about CBDCs, it's only one warning and then that's it. Case closed. I can never go on TikTok ever again because I talked about CBDCs. Hi, Miles. What do you think of X now? What do I think of X now? What I think of X? Amazing place. Because of Elon Musk, we have freedom of speech. So honestly, thank you, Elon Musk, for freedom of speech. The CMF, which is the name of this live show, if you're watching us for the first time, we've been doing this live show for over a year, but we used to do it on TikTok Live. And every time we talk about CBDCs, we get censored straight away by TikTok. We get censored straight away by TikTok if we talked about CBDCs. But on X, no issues because of Elon Musk. We have freedom of speech. So honestly, X is an amazing place to be. In XRP news, no XRP news, but we do have a little bit more to go on the news. So going back to the news now. Bitcoin mine, regarding that Bitcoin mining scenario that we talked about, going forward from that, we're going to move to Russia now. Russia finalizes draft law on cryptocurrency mining regulations. Russia is taking significant steps towards regulating its burgeoning cryptocurrency mining industries with a newly revised bill set to be introduced in the state of Duma. The deputy head of the Duma Committee on Information Policy, Anton, announced this development, emphasizing that legislation aims to establish a solid legal framework for cryptocurrency mining operations, according to RBC. So Russia's coming out with their regulations regarding Bitcoin mining institutions and some cryptocurrency regulations as well. Under the proposed law, only registered Russian legal entities and individual entrepreneurs will be authorized to engage in cryptocurrency mining. So, now, again, what's being introduced in Russia, there's a highly, chance of it being introduced inside the United States, the UK, and so on, because Russia is a G20 country. Under the same declaration of G20, they all signed to be on the same sets of rules in the New Delhi summit that happened last year on the G20 summit. But they all signed the same declaration to be on the same sets of rules. So Russia is now suggesting that if you want to mine cryptocurrencies, you have to be registered with the government. So if you want to mine Bitcoin, you want to mine any type of cryptocurrencies, the government has to know if you're an individual or a company that you're mining cryptocurrencies, no matter what the cryptocurrency is. However, unregistered individuals can also mine provided they adhere to government-set energy consumption limits. This measure seeks to mitigate the risk of excessive energy use that could disrupt local power grids and impact other consumers. Importantly, the bill mandates that Bitcoin miners, must report their cryptocurrency earnings and wallet addresses to the government, enhancing transparency and oversight. Despite these regulations, the bill permits the unrestricted sale of mined cryptocurrencies, allowing transactions both within Russia and through foreign platforms. You can't sell essentially the mined cryptocurrencies that you earn inside of Russia. A pivotal aspect of this bill is the government's authority to restrict mining activities in specific regions, especially those facing power shortages. This follows concerns of the Ministry of Energy about potential negative impacts on energy availability for industrial and social infrastructures due to increasing Bitcoin mining activities. In response, the ministry has proposed significant higher service rates for Bitcoin miners for those regions. The draft law also anticipates potential shifts in the mining industry's dynamics, suggesting that the formalization of mining operations could attract new players, potentially displacing existing ones. This has sparked a call for ongoing dialogue between Bitcoin miners and regulators to ensure the industry's growth and aligns with the national interest. Industry leaders have expressed cautions and optimisms about the bill. CEO of BitRiver lauded the bill as a major advancement through the acknowledgements that some aspects might not fully align with industry expectations. The dialogue during the legislative process is hoped to redefine those in those areas. The move to formalize cryptocurrency mining in Russia reflects the country's growing role in the role of Bitcoin mining sector, where it is now the significant player following the United States, By creating a clear regulatory environment, Russia aims to leverage its industrial mining capabilities for more effectively and ensure a sector of sustainable developments. Yes, that is very true. Russia is running pretty much number 2 going forward regarding Bitcoin mining institutions. It is definitely in the running race. Now, also talking about other countries entering the Bitcoin mining space. For example, Kenya. Today is the announcement of a lot of countries entering the crypto sector regarding Bitcoin mining institutions. So we've heard the news of a lot of Bitcoin ETFs coming out left, right, and center. A lot of jurisdictions looking into the licensings of Bitcoin mining institutions to give them a green light. But now we're also talking about Bitcoin mining institutions, not just the ETFs or Bitcoin mining institutions, all around the world happening right now. Today we have quite a bit of news around them as well. For example, Kenya. So Russia came up with the rules today, and Kenya has green-lighted Bitcoin mining institutions as well. Kenya considers cryptocurrency mining to boost energy fundings. President William Ruto of Kenya has indicated a potential opening of the country's cryptocurrency mining sector to investors as a strategy, essentially to meet its energy funding needs. Speaking at the American Chamber of Commerce Business Summit in Newbury, President Ruto mentioned ongoing discussions with major American firms, including Microsoft, Abro Healthcare, aimed at deepening their involvements in Kenya, according to citizens. The president especially noted that Marathon Digital has been invited to consult with Kenya's National Treasury and the Ministry of Energy about the country's cryptocurrency regime and its energy needs related to cryptocurrency mining. This move is a part of a broader strategy to diversify Kenya's income sources beyond traditional sectors like agriculture and tourism, which are substantial to external variables like weather and global economic trends. President Ruto emphasized Kenya's readiness to embrace new investments, programs citing the specific economic zones program that offers attractive physical and regulatory incentives. These include tax breaks, high quality infrastructure, simplified business processes, value chain integration, and enhanced market access for goods, making Kenya an increasingly attractive destination for future investments. This initiative comes after Kenyan government took a step earlier this year to regulate cryptocurrency trading to address concerns over money laundering and essentially T activities. The regulation, which promoted by Kenya's grey listing by the Financial Action Task Force, the FATF, which has placed the country under increased scrutiny for potentially financial crimes. The exploration of cryptocurrency mining presents an innovative avenue for Kenya to generate additional revenue and reduce dependency on more volatile income sources, potentially stabilizing and strengthening the national economy. So Kenya, I mean, this is all great. More countries day by day are not only coming in for ETFs, which grows adoption for the crypto space, not just for Bitcoin, but it brings eyes on the crypto space. But on the other side, now we're getting news of a lot of Bitcoin mining institutions happening around the world. And a few nights ago, we had news regarding other countries getting involved. We have El Salvador essentially doing Bitcoin mining institutions using volcano power essentially. We also have Jack Dorsey with his block company doing in other African nations also using volcano power for Bitcoin mining institutions and providing free electricity for local communities within the area and free Wi-Fi for the local communities in the area. But now we also have Kenya coming, and all of this is just great, essentially creating a bigger adoption for Bitcoin mining institutions, which creates a bigger adoption for the crypto space in general, which is hence the reasons why I keep on saying up, 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 and up as we go along. Regarding market space, obviously with pullbacks and corrections and manipulation to consider, because no market continues going up and no market continues going down, essentially. But in general, we are going to be going up, 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 up. This is the era of institutions, regulations, and banks. And Marathon Digital, who's having conversations with Kenya, essentially Marathon Digital's backing is BlackRock. Not only is BlackRock heavy into Bitcoin mining, not only is BlackRock, one of the top players regarding BTC ETFs, but it's also one of the top players regarding backing mining institutions as well. There are 5 major mining institutions within the United States that used to be in China, but now are in essentially the United States, and BlackRock is a majority shareholder of them. So before we go into the next news as well, there's a bit more regarding that mining issues. There's a lot of countries going into mining. Let me just go through the comment section first. By the way, if you're watching this for the first time and if you have any questions, put it down in the comment section as well. Well, Miles, you're famous twice as you are on YouTube and X at the same time. Well, Miles, you're famous twice as you're on YouTube and X at the same time. Well done, mate. Let's go, Funky Brother. And XRP, not so far, no. Hi, Miles. What do you think of XRP? Very good. Well done, mate. Thank you so much, Funky Brother. That is one thing I am thankful. That is one thing I am thankful for Elon for. We should be able to choose what we see and don't see, not controlled by governments. I agree. What Shelley said, absolutely. I remember you saying that. You said that countries would head towards China at their own pace. Let's go, Ian. Facts. If it was not for TikTok, we would not be able to create this community, which is also true. Everything happens for a reason. Imagine if I started the CMF live show on X for the first time ever, and I didn't do the CMF live show on TikTok. Imagine I started the CMF live show on X and not on TikTok. We would have never had the CMF, and I would have just been, known as Crypto Miles starting on X. And the CMF, I didn't even create, I didn't even come up with the name of the CMF, to be fair. I wasn't the one that came up with the name CMF. Everybody else was. In the earlier days, they came up with the name of the CMF. And some people kept on putting inside the comment sections on TikTok. And then it essentially just stuck. And it just became CMF, CMF, CMF. And that was before we had a Telegram group. To be fair, I can't remember who came up with the name CMF, but it just stuck. And it was kept on being mentioned inside the comment sections. That was before we had a Telegram group. But yeah, everything happens for a reason. We started on TikTok and now we're on X. For the next chapter of the CMF. The next chapter of the CMF is on X and YouTube. This news basically means that we will run out of BTC sooner than we think. Price should pump soon. Yes, exactly what it means. TikTok is still going to be around for a long time. Yeah, I do believe it's going to be around for a very long time. Australia first BTC ETF was released on 27th April as well. Let's go. Shelly, thank you so much for the update. Now, also, that's true. What Funky Brother just said, this news basically means that we will run out of BTC sooner than we think, and price should pump soon. Yes. With the more Bitcoin mining institutions that are being placed, yes. And price going up, yes. As I said previously, every year is going to be up, 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 with manipulations, corrections, or pullbacks. But in general, up, 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 up. Forget about historic patterns. Completely forget about historic patterns. When you have too many institutions and too much money in play, forget about historic patterns. We're about to set some new patterns inside the crypto space. Now, we talked about Kenya, we talked about South Africa, and we talked about Russia regarding Bitcoin mining institutions and so on. And now we're going to talk about Paraguay as well. Paraguay's senator views Bitcoin mining as an economic boom amidst legislative challenges. This is what Paraguay says. Paraguay's senator says regarding Bitcoin mining institutions. In the midst of discussions on whether to ban Bitcoin mining in Paraguay, Senator Slayan has spoken out in favor of the industry, describing it. This is how the senator of Paraguay describes Bitcoin mining. He describes it as a gift from heaven. Word for word, that's what he said. The senator of Paraguay, going into Bitcoin mining, he was asked, what do you think about it, bad or good? He said it's good, and he said it's a gift from heaven regarding Bitcoin mining for the country's economy. This comes at a time when Bitcoin mining's profitability has been notably impacted by the recent halving events, which reduced the reward for mining block, according to essentially Bitcoin halving. Senator Bruce emphasized the potential economic benefits of using Paraguay's surplus electricity for Bitcoin mining rather than selling it off cheaply to neighboring countries like Brazil. Currently, Paraguay sells excess power from iBIT damp at around $10 per megawatt an hour to Brazil, but Bitcoin miners, would pay between $40 and $51 per megawatt an hour, representing a significant increase in revenue. So it went. This is what I like. It went from every country a very long time ago. Every country hating cryptocurrencies. Every country making fun of Bitcoin. Every institution criticizing blockchain technology. Every bank criticizing it. Every politician criticizing cryptocurrencies. It went from all of that to every country now coming forward and going, please mine some Bitcoin in my country. I'm begging you, please. With Paraguay's senator calling, gifts from the heavens regarding Bitcoin mining and how they can make money on the electricity. And they're saying, Paraguay is selling their excess electricity to Brazil for $10 per megawatt an hour. They're saying essentially we can sell our electricity to Bitcoin mining institutions as a gift from heaven. Please come and mine your Bitcoin in our country. So we went from all of these countries, all of these governments, all of these institutions, all these banks hating blockchain, hating Bitcoin, saying it's useless, to now pretty much countries coming forward like Kenya, and a list of countries coming forward, and also, essentially Paraguay coming forward and saying it's a gift from heaven. Please mine in our country. Please mine some Bitcoin. We need that electricity money. So the local mining industry is reported to generate around $100 million annually, contributing not only to the national energy companies, Adam's bottom line, but also supporting local businesses involved in manufacturing, mining-related infrastructures, which is also true. It does help quite a lot of those businesses. The senator's projects that revenues could increase to $125 million by 2025. Which would help avoid bankruptcy and fund further developments of the nation's electricity infrastructure. The stance by Senator Boswell highlights a broader debate within the many governments worldwide between the economic potential of cryptocurrency mining and its environmental impacts. As Bitcoin undergoes its fourth Bitcoin mining halving that has recently passed, reducing miner rewards, the conversation around its future profitability and its role in national economics becomes increasingly apparent. In Paraguay, where legislative moves are being considered to potentially restrict or encourage mining, the outcome could set a precedent for how other nations approach the integration of cryptocurrency minings into their economic and energy strategies. So yeah, by the looks of it, a lot of countries are coming forward and saying, please mine some cryptocurrency in our country and let's make that money. The tables have turned is what we would say. In this scenario, we would definitely have to say the tables have turned from everybody hating on it to everybody loving on it. So before we go to the next news, let's go into the comment section as well. True, TikTok changed my life. That's where I met Miles and CMF. I think I'm the one who came up with the name CMF. Ray, were you the one that came up with the name CMF? Let's go, Ray. I honestly can't remember. If it was you, Ray, apologies about that. I can't remember who came up with the name CMF. Let's go, Ray. That's a statement that will go down in history. Let's go. Let's go, Shelly CMF, though. Let's go. I'm very glad to be here, though. Let's go, Genos. Ray, let's go. CMF, all for one. For all, let's go, family. Can Shelly and Ray stop, as Mao's head will not fit in the room? As Mao's head will not fit in the room. Facts. Let's go. I think we will feel the same way towards Brother Miles. I think we all feel the same way towards Brother Miles. Let's go, thank you, brother. Hi there, brother. I'm gonna change Miles' name to Crypto Miles Messiah. Yeah, Crypto Miles Messiah, CMM. Also, if you're watching this for the first time ever, welcome to the CMF Live Show. Welcome to the CMF Live Show. If you're watching this for the first time ever, we're essentially on this live show every single night at 11:25 p.m. This live show starts UK time on X Live and YouTube Live. The comment section right now is mixed with X commenters and YouTube commenters. They're all CMF members. And we talk about recent news that's happening around the world. You tune into this every single night and just communicate with amazing people as well. And essentially, we do Q&As as well, which means if you have any questions, put it down in the comment section. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. We talk about blockchain technology, CBDCs, politics, everything that's happening around the world that's recent, and how the world is shifting into a digital era. So if you enjoy this live show, drop a follow, drop a like. Tune to it every single night. Now, moving on to the next news. Custodia Bank. Custodia Bank helps essentially Custodia Bank, previously I talked about it, where essentially they got rejected from the feds. So the feds have to give some report, a master report essentially, to a master account to banks inside the United States to have access to. Now Custodia Bank got rejected completely from the master accounts, and they took the feds to court. And the first judge said, yes, you have to, the Fed has to share with this bank. And then the second judge said, no, they don't have to share. And now they're appealing the case. This is bad because Custodia Bank has crypto ties. And they're trying to cut off Custodia Bank from working with the Fed and working with other banks, which is not good. So Custodia Bank claps back against court ruling wants Fed master accounts. Custodia Bank has filed a notice of appeal on April 26, challenging a lower court's decision from March, denying its attempt to officially join the US banking system. The Wyoming-based bank is seeking a federal-level appeals court's review of a decision by Judge Scott, who dismissed Custodia's request for a Federal Reserve master account inside the United States. A master account gives banks access to the Federal Reserve services, i.e. the automated clearinghouse network for electronic payments. Additionally, Custodia is appealing a bill of costs submitted by one of its defendants, the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City. The bill amounts to $25,700 for deposition of essentially transcripts. Custodian argues that the decision on the cost should be postponed until after the appeal is concluded, referencing a similar case where costs were not imposed at such an early stage. On March 29th, the court found that Custodia Bank was not entitled to a Fed master account and rejected essentially from using it, which would have required Kansas Fed to essentially give access to it, essentially the Fed's account. But the judge said they don't have to give you access, and you're going to essentially have difficulties later on trying to be working inside the United States as a bank entity. The court concluded the banks are not legally entitled to a master accounts simply because they can apply for them, and if they get the approval they would need, then they can have access to the Fed's master accounts. It's not something that the Feds have to give out to any bank. They can deny them if they want. The court also ruled that it lacked jurisdiction over Custodia's compliance due to the lack of final decision. Custodia Bank, known for its specialization in crypto services and lack of FDIC insurance, contended that the Federal Reserve's prolonged delay and eventual denial of its application were because it's related to the crypto space. The Act oversees federal agencies must follow a rulemaking and enforcement. Following the court order, Custodia CEO Catalin Long told Fox Business that the bank would appeal the decision. Long also argued that previous decisions have given the Federal Reserve unfettered and discretion to deny new master accounts and shut current ones. She further stated that Custodia was not the only bank impacted by such a denial access. As Crypto.news reported earlier, on November 7th, Long announced the launch of Custodia's Bitcoin custody platform after gaining approval from Wyoming Division of Banking. The service aims to cater to businesses like fund managers, enhancing operational efficiencies and reducing risk. So, Custodia Bank was normal, was going ahead, had all of its reports working with the feds. One day, Custodia Bank decided to introduce Bitcoin into their banking systems and start offering some sort of institutional grades going forward with cryptocurrencies. That is when the Fed decided to cancel them out. And ever since that, even taking them to court, the judge said, well, the Fed don't have to work with you. And because of that, essentially, you won't be able to have access to any of the banking system as well. This is bad because if Custodia Bank goes down, well, it's good and bad. If Custodia Bank goes downhill and it doesn't get the access it needs to the banking system, then that is another bank failure. But it's also a bank that has crypto ties, which could impact the market, potentially making the market go a little bit low, which could also create buying opportunities if you're smart enough to catch them. So, apologies about that. Before we go to the next news, actually, we know what? We'll do the next news and then we'll go to the comment section. Popular Bitcoin wallet bans United States citizens from its services. Okay, so things are getting quite interesting inside the United States market space, where a popular Bitcoin wallet is not letting American citizens register to it. It's a cryptocurrency wallet, a privacy cryptocurrency wallet that is no longer offering services to the United States. And it's not the only one. A few other privacy wallets are no longer offering services to the United States. Why? Because the FBI is involved. And I said this a few nights ago. That now not only do we have the CFTC and the SEC going after crypto platforms, but we also have the FBI now involved going after crypto platforms. And I talked about this a few nights ago regarding FBI joining the SEC and the CFTC going after crypto section. So because of the FBI, a lot of crypto service providers don't actually want to operate inside the United States because they're not only scared of the SEC going after them or the CFTC going after them, but they're also slightly scared about the idea of the FBI going after them. So they just decide to cut ties with the United States. So a popular Bitcoin wallet bans United States citizens from its services. The Wasabi wallet provider, ZK Snacks, has announced it now prohibits US citizens and residents from using its services. This decision came to light on April 27th amid the United States regulatory and enforcement crackdown on Bitcoin wallets. Notably, Wasabi wallet is one of the most popular Bitcoin wallets focused on privacy solutions. As announced, ZK Snacks has started blocking US citizens and residents from visiting its websites, downloading and using Wasabi Wallet, and any related products and services, including APIs and RPC interferences. In light of recent announcements by US authorities, ZK Snacks is now strictly prohibiting US users from using its services, and IP address blocking for US residents is effective on wasabiwallet.io. Now, the reason why Wasabi Wallet is doing this is because of Tornado and because of the other one. So Tornado and Samurai essentially were the ones that got taken down. Tornado was still battling out in court, and they were inside the privacy sector of the crypto space. Most likely they're going to be seeing a prison sentence. And the other one, Samurai, prison sentence as well. And Wasabi at this point, and any other privacy project right now, is extremely scared of operating inside the United States because of the FBI. And they're all leaving the United States and not offering services anymore to United States citizens. Because one, we're getting very close to rules and regulations. So things are going to become extremely strict. And two, it's because nobody wants to be arrested by the FBI. Because SEC is one thing. Gary Gensler sending you a few letters, who cares? It's Gary Gensler. Send you a few letters, you can ignore them and operate outside the country. Okay, nobody cares. CFTC sending you letters, nobody cares. If you're operating outside the country, they'll send you 3 letters, try to block your website, nobody cares. But the FBI is a different scenario. If the FBI wants to come after you, they will find you and they will arrest you. So nobody wants that headache. It's more than a few letters. It's about them arresting you. So US refers to United States and indicates that several states of the United States and related territories, if you are a United States citizen or a United States resident, you are not allowed to visit any sites affiliated, downloaded Wasabi wallets, or use Wasabi wallet CoinJoin feature. This includes if you are a United States permanent resident or if you are an individual that holds a US passport. United States War on Privacy and Bitcoin Wallets. On April 24th, the Federal Bureau of Investigations seized Samurai Wallet's websites and arrested its developers. That was another privacy project. This is another privacy-focused Bitcoin wallet, a direct competitor to ZK Snacks' flagship product. So this is why this company is now moving extremely scared, because their direct competitor, which is the same field of them, was now arrested by the FBI. Obviously, they have been in contact with, CFTC, SEC, but nobody cares. It's a few letters, some emails from their lawyers, and back and forth situation. But once you have the FBI involved, nobody wants the headache of being arrested. So that's why they've decided instantly to shut down all programs inside the United States. Moreover, the FBI issued a warning against what it called cryptocurrency money transmitter businesses a day later. The surprising enforcement action against Samurai, followed by the warning and further court decisions, related to Tornado Cash suddenly raised doubts about what is considered a money transmitter business, threatening Bitcoin and cryptocurrency wallets amid regulatory uncertainty. As a result, a Lightning Network service provider by the name of ACINQ and developer of Phoenix Wallet, another Bitcoin wallet, announced its departure from the United States. One by one, the privacy Bitcoin wallets and any sort of privacy project is leaving the United States. One by one, they're blocking US citizens. They're blocking their IP addresses. If you hold a US passport, they're blocking you straight away. Nobody wants the headache of the FBI. Wasabi Wallet communicated its decision to prohibit and block US citizens and residents right after. Recent announcements from the US authorities cast a doubt on whether self-custody wallet providers, Lightning service providers, or even Lightning nodes could be considered money service businesses and regulated as such. And this could possibly be a step, essentially a step towards going after those companies with self-storage wallet as well. In closing, recent law enforcement has brought regulatory uncertainties to Bitcoin wallet and privacy service providers in the United States. This has caused some companies to leave the country or block its citizens and residents from using their services, potentially affecting the long-term demand for Bitcoin regarding the retail section inside the United States. So there's an interesting piece of news there. Before, when people were being threatened by the SEC and CFTC, they would just leave the country and so on. Now, because of the FBI is involved, it's a different scenario. The companies themselves are shutting down all their services straight away. They did it overnight, by the way. They shut down all their services overnight after the FBI arrested a similar competitor to them. The rest of the companies shut down all of their servers, all of their services to United States citizens, and so on, IP blocking everybody. Nobody wants the FBI after them. I think we are all the same way towards one. Let's go. Let's go, Ray. Sorry, Miles. We're just having a little bit of banter. No problem, Frankie brother. Go for it. The other day, you were Principal Miles. You wore my hats. Lol. Principal Miles, you wear my hats. Hi, Miles. Joined from TikTok. Glad to see you live again. Keep up the good work. Peter, how you doing? How you been, brother? This is too bad for the United States because it will miss out on crypto/blockchain technology innovation. Yes, that's very true as well. And it's the start. It's the closer you get to regulations. The closer you get to regulations, the more the privacy issue comes about. Miles, why are the governments stopping people like us from buying cryptos, making it difficult? The reason why the governments are stopping regular people from buying cryptocurrencies is an indication of how close you are to CBDCs. I said this to everybody a long time ago. I said, if your country or your jurisdiction, whatever jurisdictions you're under, suddenly become more strict, I said moving forward, if the country you are living in suddenly becomes more strict on you buying cryptocurrencies, holding cryptocurrencies, and so on, it's an indication of how close they are to CBDCs. It's an indication of how close they are to CBDCs. The more stricter they become on cryptocurrencies, the more stricter they become on you holding cryptocurrencies, is an indication of how strict they are. It's an indication of how closer they are to CBDCs. Let me give you an analogy. China. China was heavy into Bitcoin mining institutions. Heavy. Okay, China was heavy into cryptocurrencies, heavy into Bitcoin mining institutions. They were the king, top players a very long time ago. And then China started to get stricter and stricter and stricter. And then what happened? They banned cryptocurrencies, they banned Bitcoin mining institutions, and now what does China have? CBDCs. What also do they have? Social credit systems. So if you see a particular country getting stricter and stricter on you holding cryptocurrencies from the retail section, on you buying cryptocurrencies as a person from the retail section, it's an indication of how close your country is, one, to regulations, two, to CBDCs. I've always said this, if you want to know where your country is headed, I said this in 2023, look at China. Every step that China has taken, your exact country is going to be taking the same steps. Your country will be taking the exact same steps that China is taking towards CBDC, social credit systems, and pretty much everything else. Whatever steps they took, your countries will be taking the exact same steps. Regarding censorships, regarding CBDCs, regarding similarity in regulations, because they are a G20 country, they're all on the same declaration, and other similarities, but it's an indication of how close you are to CBDCs. So, Funky Brother, on your question of Miles, why are the governments stopping people like us from buying cryptos, making it difficult? It's an indication of how close you are to CBDCs on your country. Because that's what China did. China was big into cryptocurrencies, big into Bitcoin mining institutions. Suddenly, ban. Suddenly, CBDCs. Suddenly, social credit systems. You see where I'm going with this. So, with America getting very, very strict on privacy projects and very, very strict on, the FBI getting involved, is an indication of how close they are to regulations and how close they are to CBDCs. Thank you, Gary, but he's too happy to stop bullying crypto. How's your parents doing the business, Scott? My parents doing very well. Thank you so much for asking, Scott. How you been? How you doing, Scott? The upside down pineapple. The upside down pineapple. How do you make 500,000 a year? And then you just said some weird comments. As long as the FBI don't come after my wasabi, my sushi, lol. In the future, governments might force people to sell crypto. Government might force people to sell crypto, otherwise they're going to seize it. Or if you don't sell, you can't make it either. So crypto might not be the future. In the future, governments might force people to sell the crypto, otherwise they're going to seize it. Or if you don't sell, you can't use it either. So crypto might not be the future. No, crypto is the future, but there's always a way around everything. There's always a way around everything. Don't worry, no one's going to force you to sell your cryptocurrencies at all. And I said this before, CBDCs are designed for peasants and cryptocurrencies are designed for freedom, essentially. There's the major difference between cryptocurrencies give you the freedom to, spend it how you want, depending on what cryptocurrency it is. And CBDCs are designed for peasants, essentially. So, the people that are in control don't want to control each other, they want to control the peasants. So they will be, using certain types of cryptocurrencies, and the peasants will be using CBDCs. So if you're holding the exact same certain types of cryptocurrencies they're holding, that they're going to be using on later on, you're perfectly fine. But if you're holding on to zoo animal tokens, you're not fine in any sort of a way going into that future. So no, don't worry. You won't have to sell anything. Does depend on what you're holding on. Thus, and can must be closed because we are currently being heavily censored. Exactly. Okay, how pressed to China to become a country like today? We knew that very well. True. To become a country like today, we knew that very well. Yep. And okay, I want to give you some data points. So, by the way, if you're watching this live show for the first time ever, welcome to the CMF live show. I do this live show every single night. This is episode 41. We're live on YouTube and X at this exact same time right now. And this is the next news we're going to be reading out. Some key data points on the Bitcoin bull run in the US. The key to reviving Bitcoin bull run, in the US. Treasury's refunding announcements. The past few weeks have been quite boring for crypto traders as Bitcoin, the leading cryptocurrency by market value, has been primarily range bound between 60,000 and 70,000 in the past few weeks. The broader uptrend, however, could soon resume as analysts expect next week's quarterly refinancing announcement, the QRA, from the US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen to offer a relief to the riskier assets. The announcement detailing the 3 months borrowing needs of the US government has become pivotal in the post-coronavirus world of record debt, evaluated inflation and interest rates. The announcement also discloses the size and duration of the bond issuance, as well as the balance to be held in the Treasury General Account, TGA. The debt issuance plan impacts markets through the yield challenges higher bond issuance or supply pushes down bond prices and lifts yields, the so-called risk-free rate. Risk-taking in the financial markets, reduced issuance has the opposite effects. In the previous announcement dated January 29th, the Treasury predicted net borrowing of $202 billion in a net marketable debt in the second quarter with the TGA cash balance of $750 billion. That's down significantly from the first quarter net borrowing of $760 billion. Financing needs are typically lower in the second quarter as tax payments fill government coffers. According to Saxo Bank, the upcoming QRA is likely to offer relief, with quarterly gross issuance set to decline from its peak of $7.2 trillion for the first time in 2 years. Factoring in upcoming bills and coupon redemptions and the latest Treasury finance estimates, the total gross issuance of US marketable Treasury securities is projected to decline for the first time since the second quarter of 2022. The head of fixed income strategy said in the QRA preview, therefore, the big focus for markets shifts towards announcements concerning the Treasury General Account (TGA) level, added. The TGA is the United States government's operating account maintained at the Federal Reserve to collect tax revenue, customs, duties, proceeds from sales of securities, public debt receipts, and meet government payments. The TGA's liability on the Fed's balance sheets and must be matched by assets. When the Treasury drains the TGA balance, money moves from TGA account to bank accounts of individuals and businesses, boosting reserves available with commercial banks. That in turn boosts lending, leading to monetary easings in markets and the wider economy. An increase in the TGA balance has the opposite effect. During the debt ceiling drama of early 2023, the Treasury drained the TGA balance as a part of extraordinary measures implemented to keep the government functioning that kept risk assets, including cryptocurrencies, in a bullish trajectory. Per species risk assets will likely rally if the QRA maintains the TGA target at $750 billion or lower. If the TGA is maintained at its current level of $750 billion or lower, it implies no change or the potential release of more funds into the economy, providing a boost to economic activities. This might lead to a bullish sentiment in riskier assets such as stocks and lower rated corporate bonds. On the other hand, if the debt announcement matches estimates but raises the TGA target, it would mean the government intends to hold more cash. Such an outcome may not bode well for risk assets. Arthur Hayes, a co-founder and former CEO of crypto exchange BitMEX and the chief investment officer at Maelstrom, who predicted Bitcoin's pre-halvings, essentially echoed similar sentiments on X regarding weakness. Hayes explained that the Treasury may stop issuing long-term treasuries, draining the TGA balance, currently $1 trillion, or issuing more short-term bills, unlocking liquidity through the RRP, Reserve Repurchase Agreements facility. Yellen could also combine both lending to liquidity essentially as well. If any of these three options happen, if any of these three options happen, expect a rally in stonks and most importantly, in reacceleration of crypto bull market, Arthur Hayes said. So, That is what we're expecting. The TGA needs to come out very good for us, and it's going to be coming out. The news regarding the TGA is going to be coming out from the United States in next week. If it comes perfectly on time next week and it comes out good news, expect another run. Expect another run. So, I just want to say, before we go, actually, let me look at the comment section as well. Okay, how the press... Yep. Banks can see when you transfer money to exchange and they are not happy. They rather you put it into their ETFs. Also true. They find out a way to get money out of us through crypto, I bet. They'll find a way to get money out of us through crypto, I bet. Damn, 40 past the quickly already. Yep. Good night, Professor Miles and CMF family. Till tomorrow night. Love you all. See ya. Funky brother. See you tomorrow same time as usual. And we have reached the endings of this live show as well. I just want to say, honestly, if you enjoyed this live show, you're watching it for the first time ever, and you can tune into this live show every single night. It starts at 11:25 p.m. UK time every single night. This has been episode 41 of the CMF live show. As always, we're live on YouTube and X. If you enjoyed it watching for the first time, drop a follow on YouTube if you're watching, drop a follow on X if you're watching, and thank you so much to everybody that's been tapping on the screen on X and YouTube, and for everybody that's been retweeting this live show on X, because it does really help to spread this live show to help people understand blockchain technology even better. And I do this live show every single night completely for free, because I believe education needs to be free and remain free forever. So if you enjoy this live show, drop a follow, drop a like. We have reached the endings of this live show as well. So, thank you, Miles. Great show as always. Invest digital. Let's go. See you tomorrow, sometimes usual. Good night, Miles and all CMF. See you tomorrow. See you all tomorrow. Thank you, Miles. JP, see you tomorrow, brother. Same timing as usual. Please, what are you doing? Please, what are you doing? Purple face, grandpa. Prince. I don't know why when it comes to emojis, it says what the emoji is. So on my section, sometimes it says what the emoji is. It doesn't show the emoji. So it says face purple crying, face purple crying. As in because the live show is coming to an end. Prince, tune in at 11:25 p.m. This live show starts every single night, UK time, 11:25 p.m. Good night, Miles and CMF. Coin, see you tomorrow sometime as usual. Good night, Miles and CMF. Let's go. Good night, Miles and CMF. Jason, see you tomorrow sometime as usual as well. Queen, see you tomorrow sometime as usual. Thanks again for another brilliant live stream today. Let's go, Thomas. See you tomorrow sometime as usual. Solomon, thanks, Miles, as always. See you all tomorrow. Solomon, see you tomorrow sometime as usual as well. First time in a long time. I'm awake till the end. Good night, Miles. Let's go, Camel. Take care, Miles and CMF. Great live, brother, from another mother. Let's go, Ray. Ray, see you tomorrow sometime as usual. Take care, everyone. Thomas, let's go. See you tomorrow sometime as usual. I'm very enjoying this live show. I understand blockchain technology better. It's time to turn off my CMF TV. It is better than the news on the TV. Let's go. Thank you so much for the kind words. Great news. Bull run. Hopefully next week is about time. Let's go, funky brother. So, I'm going to be doing the outro that I always do every single night on this live show, which is thank you so much to every single person that tunes into these live shows every single night. Thank you so much to CMF that tunes in every single night. And thank you so much to everybody that's new that's tuned into this live show as well. I will be seeing, and I just want to say honestly, thank you so much to everybody that's been tapping on the screen as well on X and on YouTube. Thank you so much, honestly. It does spread the live show. So I will be seeing everybody tomorrow. Same timing as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you're around the world. CMF, see everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you're around the world. If you are new, you're watching this again, you're tuning in every single night. Tune in Follow me on YouTube, follow me on X, and tune into this live show every single night and communicate with people inside the comment section as well. Everybody's absolutely amazing inside the comment section. I'll see everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. I didn't fully understand the last news. The TGA needs to come out good. If the TGA comes out good, we could be looking at potentially another run on the markets. Thanks, man. See you tomorrow. Shelly, see you tomorrow sometime as usual. It's because he knows you don't sleep and think the live goes for hours. Because he knows that I don't sleep. That's true. But I do have a 9 a.m. Meeting. I have a 9 a.m. early meeting. It's true. I don't sleep quite often. I'll see everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you're around the world. 12,548 likes. Thank you so much, Miles, and good night. Lena, thank you so much for 12,548 likes. Lena, that's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for 12,548 likes. Genuinely mean it. Thank you so much, Lena. It does help to spread the live show, so thank you, honestly. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow. Orphan, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Shelly, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Camel, see you tomorrow as well, same time as usual as well. I will see everybody tomorrow, same timing as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. CMF, see you tomorrow, same time as usual.